Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sandra Mitchell. Our top story on KCAL 9 News at noon. There it is, this police video that shows the terrifying moments when LAPD officers opened fire outside a Silver Lake Trader Joe's. Today, police reveal it was one of their shots that killed the 27-year-old store manager. We have live team coverage for you today on the investigation. We're going to start off with KCAL 9's Jasmine Veal outside LAPD headquarters to show us more of that video. Jasmine?
Yes, Sandra, so the LA Police Chief Michael Moore releasing this video just 3 days after that violent rampage to show what his officers went through. He says that they were defending themselves against the gunman when Melly Corrado was shot and killed. Police dash cam video captured the shootout Saturday between the suspect Gene Atkins after he crashed into a pole outside a Silver Lake Trader Joe's and two LAPD officers. Another angle from police-worn body cameras shows those officers firing back a reported 8 rounds at the suspect as he runs inside. He was hit in the left arm. It was in those moments that store manager Melly Corrado had come out and was also hit by one of the rounds fired by officers.
It was a through-and-through wound to her left arm that then moved into her body. As chief of police, I am sorry for the loss.
Police Chief Michael Moore says his officers had to make a split-second decision to defend themselves against Atkins. Corrado ran back inside and collapsed. When she was brought out to be treated by paramedics, it was too late.
I recognize how they will forever go through their mind, debating whether that was what they had to do.
The gunman continued to fire from inside the store at officers. You can hear the bullets hitting the wall that they were using as cover. Dozens of customers and employees were held hostage for hours.
Shots fired. Broadcast.
Those officers first chased 28-year-old Atkins to the grocery store after learning he had shot his grandmother, Mary Madison, in her South LA home and kidnapped his 17-year-old girlfriend, who was also injured by a bullet. The police chief said the chase lasted 15 minutes as Atkins fired at those officers through his back window.
Shots fired. Officer needs help. West Silver Lake Drive. I got my gun.
Atkins finally surrendered peacefully.
I am thankful, given the number of store employees and customers inside, that this violent ordeal did not result in the loss of additional life.
The grandmother and that 17-year-old girl are still in the hospital in critical condition. The chief says that he's going to release the names of those officers later this week, but that they're good officers. They have, he says, 2 and 6 years with the department patrolling Hollywood. Here in downtown LA, Jasmine Veal, KCAL 9 News.
Really incredible. Jasmine, thank you. Our live team coverage continues now. KCAL 9's Dave Lopez, also in downtown, where the suspect is expected to make his first court appearance today. Dave?
Well, Sandra, that's been delayed until 1:30 now. Gene Atkins is the man who police say caused this all. He faces a number of charges. We'll get to that in just a second. But he had to have clearance today, and then there was some kind of problems with the public defender's office, and so that's why it's been put off till 1:30. Let's go to some videotape that shows the 28-year-old Atkins being arrested right after all of this happened at Trader Joe's. We all know the story, how he's accused of shooting his grandmother, injuring his 17-year-old girlfriend, and then going on the chase. These are the charges that he now faces. 1 count of murder. Even though it wasn't his gun, he did not shoot and kill Melly Corrado because he forced all of this, because it happened during the duration of a hostage situation. He is charged with 1 count of murder, the murder of Miss Corrado. Also 6 counts of attempted murder, including 4 involving police officers, 13 counts of false imprisonment. Those are the number of hostages that were being held. 1 count of felony evading, and then he is being held on $9 million bail. Now, there's a possibility, long way away yet, but the DA could decide to go for the death penalty because of all these charges he's now facing. All of this, as we mentioned, started after he got into an argument with his grandmother. We are told that the argument was over the fact that she did not want his 17-year-old girlfriend to move in under her roof. That's what set him off, we are told, by family, friends, and by investigators. And then he shot his 76-year-old grandmother 7 times. And then he kidnapped his girlfriend, allegedly, and then he took off, and then the chase was on that wound up with him crashing his car in front of the Trader Joe's. And then Chief Moore describing how the manager of the store, Miss Corrado, came came out to hear the commotion, and that's when the shots were fired, and that's when he said that one of the officers shot and killed Miss Corrado in the exchange of gunfire. That's what happened there. So again, he is expected to be in court at 1:30 this afternoon. One other aspect about Chief Moore, as we talked about earlier on our 11 o'clock hour, he has been through this firsthand experience. Chief Moore, when he was out on the street as an officer, was involved in 2 officer-involved shootings. One was a fatality. The other one, the suspect did not die. So when you hear him speak about how sorry he is, about how brokenhearted he is by all of this, and how the split decisions had to be made by officers, he knows what he's talking about. He's been through it twice. Reporting live from downtown Los Angeles, I'm Dave Lopez, KCAL 9 News.